apologize for the shakiness of the film or the video that I'm taking right now. Driving on the back roads of Talbot County, and my mount is not the most stable in the world. I just wanted to real quick comment on the recent Reason magazine video that they uploaded to their YouTube channel that was criticizing RFK Jr., whom admittedly I'm a big fan of RFK. I really like him a lot. As far as the two main parties and a mainstream candidate, there's a lot to really like about him. There's also a lot that there's very unsettling, but considering that he is probably the most anti-war candidate in the field, short of a libertarian or Tulsi Gabbard possibly running, that being my big issue right now, avoiding nuclear war with Russia and China, and saving humanity, I think Kennedy is top of the line. I'm pretty sure it's a safe bet that on day one he takes over, he fires off the executive order to withdraw all of our troops abroad and get out of the Ukraine war. So for that, he's got my respect, and I think he's a very he's a person of a lot of very high integrity. But that being said, this video is about the Reason hit piece that they just did this afternoon, or they just posted this afternoon. And I don't know, it's not Nick Gillespie, it was some woman who did it, who did the video, who I'd never seen before. And she went in to basically cast doubt against RFK, and she used the line, well, he's crazy about vaccines, and he dismisses vaccines, and he hails from the conspiratorial side of vaccines, as well as some other things, but she was mainly pushing the vaccine narrative, which was really odd for a libertarian organization to take this stance. I mean, it's just very odd. All I can say is I guess Reason has been co-opted by the DC, by the swamp creatures. Big surprise there, considering the Mises takeover of the Libertarian Party this past year. No shocker there that maybe us Mises guys and Mises folks need to go take over Reason magazine and bring it back to make it an actual libertarian magazine and a libertarian think tank. But you're criticizing RFK for being a Democrat. It makes no sense to me. Okay, first of all, let's just think this through. If RFK was to actually get the nomination and then win the presidential, the office of the presidency, you would have a guy in the White House who, the worst you could say about it is that he mistrusts the very government that he is now in charge of. So that means he's going to do his very best to make government as good and as honest as one can possibly make government good and honest, which, me personally, I'm black-pilled in that regard. I don't think there's much you can do for that. But there's a guy who would have the power and also the mistrust that is aligned with people like us who are on the libertarian side, who already mistrust government, and he would clean it up, or at least make some surface efforts to do that. So what's the complaint? The complaint is that he is conspiratorial and he mistrusts government. Hello, you're a libertarian. We all hate government. We all mistrust government. We all have some degree of conspiratorial, thoughts in our heads that float about there in the ether. So it's a non sequitur. Why even bring it up? I mean, you can just, from a libertarian standpoint, it makes no sense to me whatsoever as to why reason would go out of their way to attack RFK, who is probably our biggest ally, and most aligned with us more than anybody else. Even Trump. I think Trump wasn't a terrible president. He wasn't great either, but at least he didn't start any new wars. And he tried to make peace with North Korea. That's a good thing. I can't knock a guy for that. And so, but Biden, sorry, man. If the choice is to defend the present president, the current occupant of that office, Joe Biden, or possibly aid someone who can actually take him out of office and send him on his way to a nice, happy retirement, where he can be, a true vegetable on his own, and die in peace. RFK, he's the guy to do it. And so we should be supporting him as much as possible. I don't know. Just weird times, and I think for a guy who seems to be as genuine as he possibly can be, just very nice. He's very blunt, and you could say that one of the things she says, well, he exaggerates about the numbers of vaccine injuries and stuff like that. Okay, wow, it's the worst thing you can say about somebody is that they that's running for political office is that they exaggerate. Did you expect anything different? Well, enough for me. Peace out.